This conversation starts calm and then everything shifts. Let's break it down on Choir Media.
Now it's hard to hear you. There we go. Mm-hmm. What do you got for me? Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
Um, I do have a daughter,
Okay.
and I do live in the city of Atlanta. And for me, I agree with I'll say 90% of the things that you say because
You do
there's a
what?
lot of
No,
truth
what
to
90?
it.
What 90% of things I say is what?
I agree with a lot of the things that you
But
say.
what do you disagree about the
Um,
child thing?
I Yeah, I just don't have that experience. It's been so interesting because most of
But
my
I don't
friends are
understand.
married.
Okay, but I still don't understand the disagreement.
The disagreement is that men don't want women who have a child, or that is
How many
a
thousands of men have
deterrent.
you talked to?
I've talked to a lot.
How many
I've
thousands of
talked to
men
a
have you?
lot.
How many thousands of men have you talked to?
I know a
How
lot of
many
people.
thousands of men have you talked to?
Maybe 2,000.
Okay, well, ma'am, uh, 2,000.
Yeah.
That ain't even what I've done in the last 2 months, ma'am. It may not be your experience. That's fine, but that's another thing you ladies tend to have just because that's your anecdotal experience.
I understand that, but that's not what I was going to say.
But
I was going to say that the experiences of my friends, my circle, and
and
I am grateful.
people tend to be like themselves, so they tend to have friends like themselves, ma'am.
Right. No,
Listen,
no, no. But you
but
haven't let me, you're not
well,
letting me say what it
well,
is. So
because ultimately, because here's the ultimate issue. If it's not your experience, you can disagree, but you got to go to the men and ask them what they want.
I know, and I'm gonna get there. I'm definitely gonna get there if I can just
Okay,
have the floor for a
yeah,
couple
30
seconds.
seconds. Please go ahead.
Yes. So the men, me as having a child, I'm divorced. I've never had a problem with dating. I'm in a relationship right now.
Mhm,
But when I was dating,
mhm.
I would meet men all the time who didn't have children. And honestly, I preferred a man who did have a child, somebody who actually understood what I was going through.
Mhm.
And a lot of my single friends who didn't have children couldn't find a man who didn't have a child for some reason.
Mhm.
And the disconnect was I would prefer somebody who had a child
Shayla,
just because they
Shayla, how
go
is this
ahead.
helpful to anybody else other than you? This is your experience. But I'm talking to women in general, not Shayla. No disrespect. That may be your experience. Somebody hits the lotto, but that's not a sane investment strategy or retirement plan. Do you have a daughter?
I do.
Would you tell your daughter, "Hey sis, hey young lady, go out and have a baby"? It won't affect your opportunity at all to find a higher value man or whatever. Go
Oh, of
ahead.
course not. No,
Well, they
I would
don't.
definitely not.
Thank you. Why would you not tell her that?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I wouldn't urge anybody who doesn't have a
Because
child.
it
I mean, that would not make
matters.
sense.
You wouldn't tell her
But
because it matters.
but I also don't
Okay.
want
All right.
the
Man,
population of women who do have children to feel like
you're going to be away from the microphone. You got to come back. See, here's one thing that we can't continue to do. Continue to take your personal lived experience and extrapolate that to everyone. I don't know you, don't know how you look, and even if you say it's true, men say they don't want. Listen to what's going on here. Brookings Institute study, facts, data, statistics, but so many women, in this particular case, black women, just because they don't like it, they think they can change facts. Facts don't need you to agree or disagree. 2 plus 2 is 4. I don't, I, mm, I don't get it. If you can get back to the microphone, you can finish what you're trying to say, but I don't. All right. Let's see. Who had a question? See, I can't change what some people think. What some people think is almost like, well, if I believe, if I don't like it, I don't have to deal with it. All right. Having a child changes your value. Your first name. And how old are you, Christina? And what are you offended about?
The
Mm-hmm.
video of the woman that you had talked
Mm-hmm.
to. So after that, I had watched a couple of your other videos. One of them was being fat and alone. And I was offended by that.
Why?
I am a big girl. You want to know, I am 280, dress size is a size 20. And my thing is like, why do you feel like being fat equals alone?
Did you watch the podcast?
This caller was a divorced mother with a daughter, and she actually agreed with about 90% of what Kevin teaches. The disagreement came down to one specific topic: whether men really avoid dating women who already have children. She pushed back on Kevin's position and said that her own experience didn't match what he was saying. According to her, most of her friends, social circle, and the men she had interacted with didn't seem to have a major issue with dating women who had kids. In fact, she claimed she had spoken with a large number of men over the years and believed Kevin was overstating the problem. Kevin challenged her perspective immediately. His argument was that personal experience in social circles can be misleading. Just because a woman knows men who are willing to date women with children doesn't automatically mean those same men are willing to marry them or make them their first choice for a long-term commitment. Kevin kept bringing the conversation back to one point. Instead of asking women what men think, ask men directly. He argued that many women rely on the opinions of their friends, family members, or social groups instead of listening to what men consistently say they want in relationships. The caller maintained that her lived experience suggested otherwise, while Kevin insisted that outcomes matter more than opinions. From his perspective, if men truly had no concerns about dating women with children, the marriage statistics and dating outcomes would look very different. What made the conversation interesting is that it wasn't hostile. She agreed with most of Kevin's overall message, but felt this was one area where her personal experience led her to a different conclusion. The bigger takeaway was the difference between anecdotal experience and broader dating trends. Kevin's position was that individual examples don't necessarily disprove larger patterns, while the caller believed her real-world observations deserved more weight in the discussion.